And now, your host for Beyond Ringside, the man, no myth, all legend, Fast Eddie Layne.
And away we go. Always wanted to do that, but I've just never had Jackie Gleason's voice. Anybody 16 and under ain't going to get that. You know something? Look it up. Live from Studio 1 in the multiple location station. Welcome into Beyond Ringside Sunday, 26 before the top of the hour. Thank you, Mike Macaroni, for the intro. Always a pleasure, brother. Like to welcome in tag team partner Mark MaBo Bowman. What's up, Mark?
Sad to pass along the news of 5 NXT wrestlers being cut. More on that later on. They will not be missed.
And live from Bohemian Grove, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis.
Yes, everyone. A rare Sunday indeed that there are no pay-per-views, I don't think. No pay-per-views.
No, and of course, you know, was it TNA, of course, is going to have Bound for Glory, but that's going to be over in the Land of the Rising Sun. WWE has got theirs coming up in about 2 weeks from today. ROH really hasn't said that much about another pay-per-view outing, which you would hope that they would after the success they had off their first one, Best in the World. And let's see, I'm really not, now I will say this, I know that next weekend, and this is someone I was trying to get on the show, but the communication broke down. Evolve has a triple play next week down to the Sunshine State. 8, 9, and 10. And 3 different shows, 3 different cities, and 3 great lineups. And if my notes are correct, I know that one of those is going to be an iPay-per-view through WWNLive.com.
I'm very familiar with the WWNLive.com. They carried last week's extravaganza of League of Extraordinary Wrestlers, the uber-mentioned Invasion Strike Back with the stuff in the Thunder Reindeer. But yes, the Sunshine State, always a great state that holds pro wrestling. You know, I've always enjoyed Utah.
Utah, that's the Mormon state, dude.
Sunshine State, Chicago?
Try Florida.
Florida Evans?
No, the state of Florida.
Oh, but you said it's going to be in the Sunshine State. That's
yes, and Florida is the Sunshine. No, California's the Golden State.
No, I thought that was Alaska.
No, that's the land of the midnight sun.
I thought that was Japan.
That's the land of the rising sun.
Oh.
Wick, you can jump in anytime you want to if you want to take one of these, dude.
Who's on first?
I don't know.
Third base.
Thank you. I knew we'd find a way to get to the greatest comedy sketch of all time.
And that it is.
You know, which leads me into my first question.
No, let me lead you into the first question.
Bring it on.
A man that has been on this show probably 42,000 times, Adam Pearce.
Right.
Released one of the best promos I've ever seen, not aired on a nationally syndicated program. I believe it's entitled "The Decade Makes a Phone Call." And the way it's shot is something that adds to it. You see the NWA World Heavyweight Championship belt and a plaque behind him encased. And he's talking about Roderick Strong making this phone call and about, you know, how he was saying that they don't get it. Maybe you haven't put it into him. Maybe you haven't beaten it into them enough. You know, they didn't come where guys like him and BJ were coming from. So it was a very good promo. The way it was angled was fantastic, and it added to that promo. And then he rises up, and you see, of course, I mean, we know it's not Pierce, but he calls himself Scrap Daddy. And as he raises up, you see he's dressed in a really nice attire, which I think, you know, a lot of people should take notice of. Dressing like you're a champion. But I digress. Great promo, though, if you get a chance to see this up on YouTube for Ring of Honor, whatever their next pay-per-view or their next big show is. Event, show, whatever, I'm not there, so show.
Now, I know that Ring of Honor has got Field of Honor coming up in what? Maybe in about 3 weeks away?
Okay, we'll go with that. What do I look like, the freaking Ring of Honor website?
No, yeah. But you're normally very good about keeping track of, especially ROH Takara Wrestling is.
Dude, I can't even keep track of if I've got underwear on half the time.
Note how that just got blown to hell and back. Which I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, that's right. Hold on a second. I was trying to type ringofhonor.com because I was listening to MaBo. It's like, holy crap. The official website is...
Blame the black guy on the show. Blame the black guy.
When did you become black?
When did you become a guy?
That's what she asks me all the time, too, but still by the same token.
Yeah, well, if hers is bigger than yours.
And neither of them's battery powered either.
Hey, I'll take battery power. Them things go forever.
Now, we are about, I'd say just under 2 weeks away because, of course, ROH has got their Summer Heat Tour continuing next weekend, the 9th of August in Philadelphia at the National Guard Armory. And from there, Field of Honor is going to be Friday, August the 15th at MCU Park in Brooklyn, New York. Which leads me to this. I'm going to circumvent my first question. I'll come back to that, but I'm going to bring this one up. Why is it that pro wrestling promotions always feel like they have to do a baseball field show? MaBo?
You know, that's actually a really good question. I don't know. I've never been to one. I just don't see the appeal of them. I mean, maybe it worked back in the 80s if you were in Texas at a football stadium, but I've never understood how that quite works. Where do they put the ring? Do they put it over first? Do they put it over home, the pitcher's mound, and then you put chairs out there?
Mm-mm.
I don't get it.
Actually, I can answer that, but continue.
I don't know. I mean, is it they trying to merge two of America's greatest pastimes? I don't know. I don't get it. You know what? That's actually a really good question. That's like, I don't know. Mind blown. To be honest with you.
Wick, your input, your thoughts.
Well, as someone who has been a part of an outdoor event where it was on the baseball field, they generally put it in the outfield. The thing about these minor league stadiums that they're able to do them in, they hold, about what an arena would. And outdoor events are something that have kind of gone the wayside, so to speak, in professional wrestling. But nonetheless, they do make for some great matches. You get to go out there, and fatigue becomes a factor to a lot of people. And you have to bring it because those fans are so close, and they expect more because, it's something special. You can't always have an outdoor event, but if you have about one a year, it is done very well. It is a lot of fun. And it is very, very great to work for. Or on, I guess I should say.
All of the above. Now, on my side of the board, when I was working with the Birmingham Barons full-time, I sat down with the front office of the Barons because they came to me about an idea about putting together a wrestling show. And, of course, you know me. I was working full-time with GCW at that point, and still am. From that vantage point, I got with the front office of the Birmingham Barons, and we got with the greenskeeper of the field at Regions Park. Like I said, this is a couple of years ago before the Barons moved over to the new facility, Regions Field in Birmingham. And what is now, of course, the old place is now known by its original name of the Hoover Met or the Hoover Metropolitan Stadium. And the way that we had it mapped out, we were going to put the ring above home plate or on home plate, and set up limited seating on the field, but you would have everything from the first base and third base dugouts in to behind home plate for seating, which would have given probably around, maybe 2,000 people, if not maybe a little bit more because of the way that the Met was set up at the time. And considering we were planning to go close to the backstop, because the number one concern, and for my friends who work in baseball, and have anything to do with baseball, softball, doesn't matter if it's T-ball, Pop Warner, all the way up to the Chicago White Sox, the parent company for the Barons. The greenskeepers are very, very, very protective about how you do things on that field, because these teams that keep everything up to snuff on baseball fields are, once again, they're just like, now, how much impact are we going to have to deal with? How long is this going to be sitting on my grass? This is what the opportunity for moving. Do I need to reinforce the ground to try, or do we need to reinforce the ring to where it's not going to sink down? And those were major questions that we had to ask. That's why we wanted to put it over home plate. And we felt that in the interest of the fans, putting it, even though you've got the big fence for the foul balls, protective fence and caging area, you're still going to be able to have great line of sight, great visibility, even if you're sitting on that front row, because you're going to be right there at the action. I like the idea of the outfield, but the only thing about it is the warning track normally isn't big enough to accommodate a good-sized wrestling ring. Even a traditional much less a 6-sided, because the dimension is going to be a little bit greater going end to end because of the outward expansion because of the 6 sides. And
that's what I worked on with a 6-sided ring. It was for Great Championship Wrestling.
Yeah.
Other GCW, some people call it.
Yeah, and I think I heard about that show. I'm trying to remember the year, because wasn't that 4 years ago?
No, sir, that was 2007.
2007, 7 years ago? Wow. Time flies when you're having fun.
Been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I've had sleep since then and lost a couple of 100,000 brain cells. No, but yeah, depending on where you are and depending on the fan base that you have there, because I've worked outdoor events all the way from football fields, baseball fields, athletic complexes, and it really depends on the city, the town that you're in, and the facilities that you've got to work with, as to especially the people. Will they make the trip to this place? Is the built-in crowd for the baseball team or the football team going to be enough? Sometimes yes, a lot of times no. But yeah, hell, I wish them the best. And considering this is Brooklyn, New York, it's going to have a good turnout. I got that feeling.
Just like the Juggalos and their gathering outdoor event. I mean, they go where they know there's going to be all of their kin. And if anybody has seen the Juggalos with Morgan Freeman doing the narrating over the gathering, it is phenomenal.
I believe it. Now, also, there was another part of the state fair shows. I mean, Wick, you have fond memories of those, don't you?
Yeah, yes I do.
Yeah, of course, there have been a number of different promotions that love to line up with state fairs, county fairs, things like that, because of the fact that the built-in crowd base, and it gives the promotion an opportunity to help bring new fans into the fold. I mean, because, God, whether it be on the West Coast in California, whether it be Ohio at the Ohio State Fair, or down here in our home market of Alabama at the Alabama State Fair, you have a great opportunity to bring new fans in and get them exposure to your product. And that's why it's like when wrestling promoters have that opportunity, you have to look at the long-term business picture. Every once in a while, you may have to eat something as far as the profit margin goes and come out of pocket. But in the long term, if you do it right, you've gained new fans and new income for your show, if you give the fans what they want.
Eddie, are we kayfabing the gathering? I'm sorry, I didn't.
No, I'm just not that familiar with it.
I'm not a Juggalo. I mean, I hate those guys. I think they're one of the worst tag teams of all time, if not the worst. But no, I mean, I just know that they put asses in the seats. A lot of people go up there, and I know I could draw massive amounts of heat from those a-holes.
Now, actually, like I say, personally, I'm not that familiar with the way the gathering's set up. I mean, MaBo, have you got any knowledge on it?
I know that there is Fago. I know that there's a lot of sweaty fat chicks with clown makeup on and pierced nipples. I know that there's a lot of phallic references, drug references, poo-poo references, and I know that you can get some sloppy boppy in a porta potty. But that's all I'm going to talk about.
Well, we've all seen Mad Max.
Oh, yeah.
Thunderdome.
Hell yeah.
Now, first of all, Tom Hardy is going to kill it as Mad Max. That looks amazing. I think they pulled a fast one releasing that at Comic-Con, because for years we never thought that movie was going to get made. But Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, that is the gathering. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. And if I saw something from like El Topo, where you have like 2 disabled people on top of each other, and one time somebody's hair with their feet, amputee, shout out right there, I would not doubt that I would see something like that at the Gathering.
You know, and this almost ties into the question that I was going to lead off with. Because when you're at a live event, when you're working a live event, when you have a moment of genuine guffaw comedy that takes place, intentional or otherwise, whether you're at ringside, on a stage, behind a microphone, or in the crowd, how does it affect you? Do you take it for what it's worth and run with it, or do you sit back and try to overanalyze it? And, Wick, I'll go to you first on that one.
Well, Crew Jones and Ryan Bishop tag teamed in Americus, Georgia. I wish Billy was here for this story. I got two stories. During this time, a complete monsoon happens in the middle of their match. It's AJ Steele and I think J-Rod are tag teaming. They wrestled for 40 minutes. I mean, it's thunder and lightning. The announcer guy wouldn't even get on the mic. And, you know, this is one of those shows where the people talk over the matches because they're like, "Whoa, did you see that? He really hit him with his."
I really hate that.
You know, and you're like, "What the hell are you talking about?" So he's like, "I'm not even going to call the match." So I take the microphone and start calling the match. It gets so out of hand, and I wish Schmidtke was here because Schmidtke could back this up. It rained so bad that whenever we got in there, I just wrung out my socks. And we were having to jump over the puddles to get to the back. They wrestled it. I promise you, J-Rod and AJ Steele pinned Bishop and Crew Jones at least 25 times. There were at least 30 or 40 pinfalls in that match. No lie. They just kept going because they were having so much fun. Number two, another Reigns story. Those that are familiar with the Gym Class Heroes, the wrestling tag team, not the what type of music do they play?
Crappy?
It's crappy music. It's crappy music. There you go. Whatever that genre is. Jimmy the Kid, his first foray into wrestling was actually a tag match. Him and another pizza guy tagged against Orion Bishop. It was a pizza guy and I forget who that was, but who cares? Against Bishop and this other guy. Jimmy the Kid was the guy tagging with the babyface. Bishop slammed him so hard that the water flew out of the ring after it had rained for about 15 minutes, just completely drenching the first, second, third, and fourth rows. I mean, it seemed like you were at a Gallagher concert.
Nice.
Like 3 people got that reference. Still.
And you're talking to one of the biggest Gallagher fans that's ever been out there. I genuinely appreciate his comedy.
Oh, I love Gallagher, dude. Man, I actually went back in the 90s. I went to one of his concerts.
I still have maybe 4 of his VHSs. And this back in 92, I think it was, I spoke to his production manager through Wizard of Odd out in Van Nuys, California. And we had probably about a 2-hour-long conversation about some of the stuff that Leo was doing at that Gallagher was doing at that point in time. And also the fact this was the early days of when his brother Bruce was coming on board, not only on the creative side, but also on the on-stage side. And for those who are not familiar with what I'm talking about, check out Gallagher, stand-up comedian. Just think Gallagher.
Google it. Just Google it.
Yeah, Yahoo. Screw Google.
Not right now. Don't do it right now. Wait till the show's over.
There you go. But there was also a major controversy between Leo and Bruce, the Gallagher brothers, as to Bruce wanting to use Leo's material on stage, and Leo said, "Screw you, come up with your own stuff."
One was tired of being Mario, the other was tired of being Luigi. So.
Pretty much. And
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, really. Dun, 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 dun. MaBo, your thoughts? Comedy and wrestling. When the comedic moment happens during a match, I'll toss it your way. MaBo, you're up.
I mean, what do you mean? Like when I'm sitting in the freaking.
When either you're in the stands or behind the announce table, and something like that happens.
God, man, if I'm in the stands, you know I'm gonna run with it. Freaking one of the best ones I remember, and Yes, it involves somebody. Well, we're not even going to go to that because I'm trying to turn over a new leaf and be nice. It's not going to happen, but we'll see how long I can make it into the store without making fun of the guy. But myself and Tunzi were at a Global Championship Wrestling show, not an event because Wicked was not booked. And I believe the Inhuman Fly was in the match, and at the time, Eddie, I think you might have been busy. You had come back to the company, but I think you weren't there that night. It was at Palmerdale, and Dan Sawyer was calling the match, and the Fly goes for a move, and Dan Sawyer gets on the microphone as he's calling the match, and he goes, he's got a small package. And I lost it. I legitimately lost my mind and started crying because it was so funny, and Sawyer never realized what he said. Even after Fly had won the match, he did not get it until about 5 minutes later. And then, of course, he ran it into the ground and lost my package. But I about died laughing because he just blatantly said the Inhuman Fly had a small package. And it was hilarious. Now, if I'm not in the ring, if I'm calling a match, then I'm going to, especially if it's going on DVD or what have you, then, I try to keep it. If I can roll it into the commentary, then yeah. But only if it's pertinent. You know what I'm saying? Not just to pick on it or take it apart.
See, and I'm similar in that regard. If the moment occurs, I will acknowledge it, but try not to run with it, because if it's an accidental moment, you don't want to do anything while you're behind the microphone to make anybody look bad.
Exactly.
And because on the announce team, your mission is always build up, promote, push, elevate. Even if you're the heel member of an announce team, your job is to elevate everyone.
And some people need to understand and learn that. There's been quite a. I mean, and this is not to anybody in particular. I'm not taking shots at anybody. Just being honest. I've either been at shows and stuff, like, sitting next to the announce table, or have come across matches on YouTube or what have you, to where the person who's supposed to be doing, color, whatever you want to call them, obviously, a moment happens and they take it and they just run with it, but in a bad direction and degrade it. I mean,
right.
Like if something happens on WWE TV, and Lawler or JBL, they might acknowledge it, but they don't use it to sully the product.
Right.
So,
because I have a problem with people thinking that one person can do play-by-play and color commentary. That just doesn't work. I'm sorry. You're not doing styles.
Exactly.
And I do have a problem with people announcing over matches. How can you be like, he's running up behind him? With the referee going,
yeah, see, I've never understood that. It's just if there's going to be run-ins or any kind of foul play, and you're sitting there going, he hit him with an international object, and the ref doesn't hear that, then you might want to get the ref checked for some form of disability, maybe. I don't know.
Look, I've been on both sides. I have done DVD tapings. I've done internet pay-per-view. I've done TV tapings, and I've also done over the microphone. What the hell was that? Over the speakers, over the matches. My first foray into how I got into wrestling was that it was just me. The only reason I didn't understand is because I was getting myself over. I had no idea what the hell I was doing. No idea. But I tried to not call moments like that. It was good to be heel, because then if somebody got hit from behind, you could be like, "Whoa, what just happened? He totally knocked him out." Of course, people would scream, and you'd be like, "What? I didn't see it. You're blind." So, but I've also done stuff where, like TV tapings, you have to cover that somehow. You can't not acknowledge it. You have to acknowledge it. If not, you're just insulting everybody's intelligence. the viewer's intelligence, the people that pay for that pay-per-view, the internet pay-per-view.
Yeah, whether it be an internet pay-per-view, a television show, whatever it may be, DVD, VOD, SMO, but I don't know, so many different options out there nowadays. I mean, you genuinely...
Did you almost say SMOD?
So,
Are we covering on Smod now? Are we getting, did we get picked up by the Podcast Network?
I wish we would.
Eddie Layne, you son of a bitch. You got us to deal with Kevin Smith, and you were holding out on me.
And we are calling it the BeyondCast now.
Yeah.
BeyondCast.
BeyondCast, yes. It's not a podcast, it's a BeyondCast. And I give all the credit in the world to the Wicked Nemesis for coming up with that.
And I come up with that off Smodcast because I didn't want to be sued.
Speaking of, before we go to the top of the hour break, I want to remind everybody, please check out the media page over on BeyondRingside.com. If you're over on the website, look near the top and you'll see the link for media over on the right-hand side of that top link bar. That will take you to the page where current and archived episodes and interviews are available. Quick rundown. We've got a jam-packed evening this evening here on Beyond Ringside Radio. We're going to take it all the way through till probably around 7:30 Central Time. 8:30 Eastern. From there at 9 o'clock Eastern, it's WrestleRage with Smart Rage and Stan. And then at 11 o'clock, it'll be the brand new episode of The Midnight Black Mass, starring the Reverend Dan Wilson. Been enjoying the living hell out of these. I am so glad we worked it out for him to come over here on that. And of course, for back issues of The Midnight Black Mass, be sure to check out their YouTube site. It's youtube.com/PODDY potty with it DD humor. YouTube.com/potty humor. So, yeah, you can catch archived episodes from there also. But I'm also going to be putting archived episodes on the Beyond Ringside feed as well, because if you haven't had a chance to listen to the Midnight Black Mass, trust me, stick around. We got 3 great shows. We're in the middle of one of them right now. Hang with us. We'll be back. This is Beyond Ringside Live.
Race, 8 times NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, first ever King of the Ring, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
The To Be Determined show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock, and the Magic City Runner, Fast Eddie Layne, as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen, because they may take effect right here, live, every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com.
This is Mr. Wrestling 2. You're locked into Beyond Ringside.
All bad things must come to an end. The world's most notorious rock band is saying goodbye forever. Dodge presents Motley Crue, the final tour, with very special guest Alice Cooper. Friday, August 15th, Oak Mountain Amphitheater. Tickets on sale now. Motley Crue, the final tour. For more info and tour dates, visit motley.com.
This is Bob Allen, co-author of Gordon Soley's Something Left Behind and the Soley Chronicles, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Smart Rage from WrestleRage Radio, coming to you from the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. Join myself and my co-host, Super Stan Grubb, Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, as we present WrestleRage Radio, where we rant and rave on everything in the world of pro wrestling. Sometimes we'll have a guest. Sometimes it'll be just me and Stan BSing about the sport that we love, pro wrestling. Check us out. Tune in Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, only on the Beyond Ringside Network.
This is Todd Howard from LM Promotions, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Remember when your neighbor found us naked in the car, and the time some outdoor action got us kicked out of the park, getting frisky in the dark. I gave your eye a poke, think the dog is in the bed, do I smell smoke? You and me, we never ever ever give up.
You didn't give give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Visit bedsider.org to compare all the choices. Brought to you by Bedsider and the Ad Council. Bedsider.org.
This is Gabe Sapolsky from Dragon Gate USA and Evolve Pro Wrestling, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
Hi, I'm Amanda Pete. Like all new parents, my husband and I want what's best for our baby. When it was time for our daughter's immunizations, we wanted the facts. So we carefully researched vaccines. We spoke with doctors and other experts and asked some tough questions. We decided that vaccines were the best thing for our child. I urge you to get the facts. Learn the facts about vaccines so you can make the best healthcare decisions for your family. Thank you.
A message from the American Academy of Pediatrics and VaccinateYourBaby.org.
Ladies and gentlemen, wrestling fans from around the world, I'm Lightning Mike Quackenbush, the master of 1,000 holds, and you're locked in for Beyond Ringside.
So, Jacqueline.
Yes, Mom?
I wanted to talk to you about something, and... Oh, wait, hold on. I just got a text.
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. So many comments on my comment. Hey, guys, check out my new video game. Mom, what? Huh? Pew, pew. What'd you say?
This weekend, unplug. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
What's up, everybody? This is the Master of Malice, Mark James, and you are locked in to Beyond Ringside.
7 minutes after the top of the hour, welcome back into Beyond Ringside Live. You got us. Thank you to everybody listening in through BeyondRingside.com, as well as our Ustream feed this evening. Yeah, everybody catching on Ustream and Ustream Mobile got a couple of surprises earlier in the show. Wick has been making references to the YouTube videos that I put up every once in a while in support of the show, and I've actually been working on some new graphics and stuff to work on that, or to go up with that. So, like I said, I feel the pressure to do a little bit better every time, and I'm pushing that much more. Real quick, first off, going around the table, Fast Eddie Layne, live from Studio 1. Mark MaBo Bowman, welcome back.
Black Rage!
Wicked Nemesis, welcome back.
I just want to say this right off the bat. Guardians of the Galaxy, I will be feeding the monster that is Marvel. Our version of Pixar, for those that are comic book nerds, and I'm waiting for that Howard the Duck Rocket Raccoon team up.
That's a
Spoiler alert!
Yo. Spoiler alert, yo.
Spoilers? I don't know. I'm just saying. I have
And
not seen anything. I've only watched the first trailer that come out, and then the part that they released at Comic-Con with the slice the throat scene with Star-Lord and Drax. So that's it. That's all I've seen. No spoilers here.
And longtime friends and family on the show, you are going to remember and recognize this name and voice. Like to welcome in a good friend of ours from the Lone Star State, Barefoot James. How you doing, brother?
It's doing good. It's been far too long, and I'm happy to be locked in to Beyond Ringside for a few minutes.
Now, you were making a reference on during the commercial break that you had just gotten in from seeing Guardians of the Galaxy. Without going into too much detail, because we're not going to do spoilers or anything like that, what'd you think of the movie?
I thought it was really fantastic. Just judging from the trailers when I first saw the movie, I was a bit skeptical, but I always am kind of optimistic whenever going into movies, and of course, as Wicked was referring to, the beast known as Marvel, they just are starting to hurl everything at you, and I was really skeptical, but after leaving it, fantastic soundtrack, fantastic visuals. It's just a lot of fun. I can't recommend it that much more than I already have. Batista himself, he does a really good job. He plays very well off of everybody. I can't say enough things about how good the movie is, and I definitely recommend it to anybody who is interested in that type of movie.
I'm glad that Guardians of the Galaxy is doing so well, because that means that we have now gone into space. So the next phase of Marvel, Phase 3, is I think going to be part with Doctor Strange. So, and yes, I am hoping that Benedict Cumberbatch gets it, not Joaquin Phoenix. I don't know if it was told exactly who is going to be Doctor Strange, but now they're going to start moving into the magic side. And with all the cancellations and the moving of the dates of the Spider-Man universe, I mean, fingers crossed, Marvel may be getting them back. They may be getting the Fantastic Four back now that they've canceled their comics. They're going to appear in other comics, but the comics have been canceled. Yeah, I said it.
No, I actually was in the middle of trying to say something. Lo and behold, I forgot I muted my mic so I could hear y'all clearly. Sorry, my bad.
No filing either. No filing. No.
There you go.
Well, real quick, and it's funny, like I said, to reference that comment that Wicked says about Marvel. Guardians of the Galaxy is one of the lesser-known comic books, and I don't know if you guys read the news. It broke the August record for $94.8 million opening, and not that many people heard about this comic. So that just lets you know how strong of a brand Marvel is, and when they market stuff and when they have people behind it, like it's an unknown comic, and it just broke the August box office record. So that's just wonders to what kind of brand that Marvel is. So.
Yeah, but it beat out the Bourne Supremacy, which is based on a great set of novels. So, but like you were saying, they're actually considered like D-list.
Yeah.
On the Marvel, and now I know they're bringing the Inhumans in, something that they actually own the rights to. The problem is Marvel's having to use what they own the rights to. They don't have Namor. They don't have the Fantastic Four. They don't have any of the mutants. They don't have Spider-Man. So I mean, that's what they're left with. And the Fantastic Four universe would be great to come back to Marvel, because you have Doctor Doom, Silver Surfer, and all those guys. Galactus. It's surprising, and I can't believe that they're pushing Thanos as they are. I mean, you've got to have Adam Warlock. You got to have Doctor Strange. You got to have Silver Surfer. All that's very intricate and everything. But they're doing what they have. But they also had a production of $170 million. But the marketing was probably 50 or 60 more million than that.
Right.
They have 170 million domestic, or 160 point something domestically.
Well, and the funny part about it, you make the reference to the D-list as far as the Guardians of the Galaxy, and this is the part where I get to jump up and down and go, yay me, because I still have original prints of the original Guardians of the Galaxy comic book from back in the Stone Age. I'll just say it like that. And I know that there have been two different incarnations of the Guardians of the Galaxy. As far as
actually, Eddie, there have been several, not just two.
Okay, but
there have been several. What you are referring to with you and I was debuted around the 70s.
Yep.
And was relaunched in the 90s.
Right.
And then subsequently canceled. And then it was brought back around the Annihilation wave, which the team even varied then. It wasn't even consistently the one it is now, because it had, frickin' whatever the female Quasar was, and a bunch of others that didn't. Cosmo the dog, spoiler alert. And then eventually what would roll into the current releasing of last year's Marvel Now relaunch, which is the team that is in the movie minus Iron Man and Agent Venom.
Right. Well, like I said, the comic books that I have are actually from the 70s. And those are backed, and boxed in airtight containers that maybe an F3 could get through if they could lift
them. That would be the time to sell them.
Yeah, I've considered that notion about going back, because actually I think I have the first 5.
Go to Jay and Silent Bob's.
Yeah. Hey, might get on television that way. Who knows? They'd have to have a really wide-angle lens for my fat ass, though. But hey, what the hell?
Hey, tell them, Steve Dave.
Because that's one of the things MaBo and I had a discussion about probably about 3-4 months ago, because I have just got boxes upon boxes upon boxes of comic books, and everything from the good old-fashioned reinforced hardboard boxes all the way up to airtight plastic totes. And I'm even when I was a kid, I know, I hid the body in there too. But that's where it's like, there's some that I know, and I'm not looking to get, as far as the money goes for them. I just know that there are people out there who could probably enjoy them as much, if not more, in this timeline as I do. So I would, if I get rid of them, I want to make sure they go to a good home.
I'll take them.
How much you paying me?
Look, if you're dead, it ain't gonna matter.
Well, there you go. I'll just leave them to you in my will. Better yet,
There you go.
I have an idea. I will go ahead and leave my comic books to you and Wick as the winner of a steel cage match. But inside the steel cage, it's the first one to kill 20 chili cheese dogs from Sneaky Pete's.
MaBo can handle. I mean, I only have one comic, and it's a graphic novel, which is we all know the difference between a comic and a graphic novel is 1995. But I have Watchmen.
Yeah.
I have the Watchmen graphic novel. That's the only one that I own. My son has quite a few. I used to have a lot, but I don't anymore because you know what? People steal from you.
Yes, they do.
And not just comics, but gimmicks too.
And one-liners.
That's great.
Now,
and ring attire. Not name truth more than any.
Benny, we know your time.
Now, where I want to go with this is something a little bit different because this is a conversation we've had off air, but I'm finally going to bring it on air. And we'll come back to wrestling in a couple of minutes. We're 15 after the hour on this Sunday night edition, August 3rd, Beyond Ringside Live. Fast Eddie Layne, Mark MaBo Bowman, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, and good friend of the family, Barefoot James. Now, running it down real quick, and in my mind, I don't have hardcastle evidence in front of me, and I'm not going numbers. I'm going presentation factor, which I know between the four of us, it's going to be different opinions. Everybody has those. When it comes to, with the exception of the Batman franchise, which I'm still waiting on Batfleck to come out, just so, and I'm guardedly I'm guardedly pessimistic. I'm going to be honest about it. But the fact of the matter is, when it comes to the animated features, DC has been doing a better job in my book. I have not seen War. Yeah, I have. I have it. Matter of fact, God, there's only one that I haven't seen. Crisis on Multiple Earths. But as far as it goes with Marvel, their live action has been much better. Because, I'm sorry, that last Superman movie just did nothing for me. Green Lantern did nothing for me. Batman has always been a solid, stable franchise until they screw it up. It's kind of like James.
The Man of Steel show up and snap your neck.
Yeah, he's got to catch me first. I go from 0 to chicken in 0.3 seconds. But am I the only one who has this opinion that Marvel seems to definitely outdoing DC in the live action realm? MaBo.
Yeah, in the live action realm. Well, I don't know. Honestly, I find Arrow more entertaining than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., although...
Let's take it to...
I enjoy both of them, but I find Arrow more entertaining, and I look forward to the upcoming Flash.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Flash.
Now, in the animated realm, I like Hulk, Agents of Smash. All the stuff that's on Disney XD is pretty good. But DC, a couple months ago, released not along more of their... I'm not going to say adult titles, because adult makes it sound like they're really dirty, but they're more mature, like the upcoming Assault on Arkham, which drops in 2 weeks. Yay, Suicide Squad, Harley.
Right.
But they released a more kid-friendly animated movie, something about Trapped in Time or something like that, that was very similar to and very tongue-in-cheek, like the old Challenge of the Super Friends, that even had the Legion of Doom. So, but as far as movies go, they've really only used 3 franchises. I mean, unless you want to count Watchmen, then 4. But these two, or Constantine. But I don't know if you really want to support Keanu Reeves. Nobody really wants to. But out of their main comic line, they've only used for live action on the big screen is Batman, Superman, and they took a stab with Green Lantern. I had no real issues with Green Lantern. I think Ryan Reynolds as Hal Jordan was not a good choice. I would have chose somebody else, because Ryan Reynolds is definitely not the more serious one that Hal Jordan is. So
John Hamm
would have been good.
That would have been good.
John Hamm, yes, definitely.
Ryan Reynolds was born to play Deadpool. Plain and simple.
Oh, yeah, he'd be a great Deadpool. If they would have made it Kyle Rayner, he would have been a great Kyle Rayner.
I can agree with that 100%.
But it's just like they've always said that, back in the day, it's, they'd always thought about maybe if they did a Flash movie, Ryan Reynolds playing Wally West Flash instead of Barry Allen Flash. But I digest.
Yeah, I think the scripting had a lot to do with the reason why I didn't like Green Lantern also. It may not have been just Ryan Reynolds, but also the scripting just was not, the continuity in the script just was not that great. Wick, your thought, Marvel versus DC, live action versus animated.
Holy crap. People that are tuned in listening for sports, you just, goodbye. Thank you all for listening to Beyond Ringside.
They know better. If you've listened to this show more than once, you know that we go in any direction in 5 seconds flat.
Yeah, but when we start talking about comic books, that's whenever the YouTube nerds come out. And next thing you know, we have 42 comments. They were wrong about that. It was issue 420, and it was down at the Locust Grove, and it was with Swamp Thing. Thank you.
Colonel Mustard in the study with a candelabra.
Nobody gets that clue, Joe. I get it.
That's all that matters. We got that joke.
What was it, Professor Plum?
I think so.
I think so. Look. Those were the days.
Everybody knows communism is nothing but a red herring.
Red herring.
if we're gonna sit there and do Clue, then we're gonna reference Clue the movie, and everybody knows communism is nothing but a red herring.
There you go. Continue, Wick.
Warner Brothers canceling their DC Nation that they did, that being Young Justice and the Green Lantern animated series. Those were something that my son and I could sit down and intelligently watch. It was very well written. I know that they keep pointing to the fact that they weren't reaching the audience that they wanted to. Who gives a crap? That was good. You had to go back and watch the Justice League just to get some of the references to Young Justice.
Yep.
They have the people who did Batman animated series, probably one of the greatest cartoons of all time. I mean, it's not Simpsons, but whenever we look back in animation, there'll be South Park, The Simpsons, and Batman the animated series that we can point to that changed the way the animation is done today. I know people say Pixar and everything, but we're talking about on TV shows, on animated series, on DVDs. On animated DVDs, it's just, I mean, these guys are amazing at what they do at Warner Brothers. However, I did see some numbers saying that Warner Brothers made a bigger profit than Marvel because of what they have to put into these big budget action movies compared to what you have to do for animating.
Right.
What you have to do, what you have to pay animators and the rights you use there. That they made a much larger profit than Marvel did through their cinematic universe. But the Marvel Cinematic Universe is awesome. I mean, I'm scared of Ant-Man because all the people that have left that and everything that's gone over there. So I'm hesitant on Ant-Man, I guess I should say. So let's see how that goes. And then that may be the dagger, or it may be the shining light. I mean, this is one of their stepping stones right here, was Guardian of the Galaxy doing well.
James, come on in, your thoughts.
All right. First of all, Wick stole some of my thunder. I really think that Batman the Animated Series is indeed one of the greatest animated series of all time. Not to mention that, like he was already saying, that it was ahead of its time, and that was made in 91, 92. Yep. Like that, and then not to mention, there's a little known movie that I'm pretty sure all of us remember, Batman: Mask of the Phantasm, which is also which is a very good movie too. I really feel like that. I agree with DC being the better animated universe. I also feel like that Marvel, when it comes to the cinematic stuff, they had really good people to push forward some of the projects that they've had, because if anybody knows, and I'm pretty sure we all know, when it comes to the DC stuff, the Wonder Woman movie has been in development hell since the 80s.
Yep.
They could never get an Aquaman movie off the map either. They have a Flash TV show, but we also knew that the Flash movie was in development hell. So I really feel like if they push some of those projects through, and if they were movies, depending on the quality of the product, maybe we'll be talking things differently. As far as Marvel and the cinematic universe goes for them, we also have to point to the fact that they've also had really good casting. They really had good directorial choices. Of course, they had some duds with the Ghost Rider stuff and with Daredevil and stuff like that. But But I also feel that, Marvel just, quite frankly, they have the movie, they have the cinematic universe on lock right now.
Yeah, I'm really weird about this due to the fact that, yes, I'm considering the fact that Avengers is on Netflix and I have it on DVD as well as on digital copy. I will go back and watch it just for the fun of it, but take it a different step. When it comes down to it, Avengers Assemble from Marvel, the animated feature, I never really got into that well, even though it was decently written. Now, Justice League Unlimited, Young Justice, Green Lantern series, hell yes, I will go back and watch those on Netflix 7 days a week. And as far as the others, I'm really kind of perturbed that neither Hulu Plus or Netflix has Iron Man 1, 2, or 3, Thor 1 or 2, Cap 1. I know Cap 2 is not even on DVD yet. At least it may not be. I haven't checked yet. That's my fault.
Not till October.
Huh?
Not till October.
Thank you. I knew I was almost right on that. So it's like, as far as the animateds, now Batman, the trilogy, and the last major, I was all over. Superman wasn't all over. Of course, I think the PR machines had a lot to do with that also. So, yeah, it's an even kill situation. One can be better at one and one can be better at the other. But they're going to constantly feel pressure about it regardless because it all comes down to the factor of people spending money. And you can tell that the animated side from DC continues to gain steam because of the fact that not only are they most requested on Netflix and some of the other video-on-demand services, but also the DVDs are selling well through Walmart, Target, and some of the other retail outlets that are out there. So, I hear the mic. Go ahead.
I don't think Marvel owned Ghost Rider. Didn't the Ghost Rider?
They don't.
They don't.
Well, Marvel just got Daredevil back, so.
And Punisher. And
yeah,
Ghost.
so you can't really say. I mean, I enjoyed the Daredevil movie. I had no real issues with it. Now, Elektra had issues with it. The Thomas Jane Punisher, and then even Punisher Warzone, I kind of liked. First Ghost Rider was alright. Second one.
Yes, they don't have the rights to X-Men either, right? Fox owns the rights to X-Men, correct?
Yes.
Any mutants.
Okay.
Fox has the rights to, with the exception of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. That's why you're going to see both of them. Or that's going to see Quicksilver in both movies.
Yep. Okay.
That's the only thing I don't like about licensing and franchising. It really screws up the creative side about what you can and can't do, because for me personally, I know it would probably never fly. But I will throw out there, I wouldn't mind seeing something happen with the original Defenders lineup.
Well, Eddie, I'm not going to say the original Defenders lineup, but next year when Netflix rolls out their Daredevil and then Luke Cage and then Iron Fist and then Jessica Jones, after all four of those are completed, they're going to come together to form the Defenders.
I can live with that.
There's talk about Punisher being in that too.
Yeah.
I've heard Punisher. I've heard Doctor Strange maybe tying the Defenders together. I don't know. But, yeah, they're doing a Defenders. It's not going to be the one that you remember with Hulk, Surfer, Namor, Doctor Strange. It's
right.
going to be more contemporary people.
No, that works for me too. I mean, as long as you can pay homage to where it came from, I'm good. I mean, but if you're just going to throw a Battlestar Galactica style cast together and call it a group, no, then that's not going to work. Because, I mean, it's not like Bad Company or Leonard Skinner. As long as one member's still alive, you can still call it a band. There has to be a tie-in to Days Gone By to give some kind of homage to where they are as far as where they are now as to where it came from. Do me a favor. Tell you what, we're going to go to the bottom of the hour break. When we come back, the question on the table will be, has WWE managed to paint Stephanie McMahon and the Bella Twins in a major corner going into SummerSlam? Hang tight with us. We'll be back in 5. This is Beyond Ringside Live.
You are a waste. A loser. Everyone hates you. Why don't you just stay in your car and keep driving? I'm serious. Drive until you run out of gas, then get out of your car and walk until you find someone who doesn't think you're dumber than bricks. Could take a while, but at least all that walking might burn a couple of calories.
You may not witness bullying like this every day. Your kids do. They want to help, but they don't know how. Visit stopbullying.gov to learn safe, simple ways your child can help stop bullying. Be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
As I turn on my radio, if I listen on the internet, I'm listening for one station to be beyond the circuit, to be beyond the place. The man with the style, the grace, the shape, and the face. If you want to hear the innovator, the crowd motivated, the commentator complicated, if you want to know to the place where somebody's more devastating than a space modulator, you come to the place where Caprice Coleman is. That's right, the show-stopping, crowd-popping, body-rocking, pulse-pounding, the heart racer, the handsome-face heartbreaker will be at Beyond Ringside. I'm logged in, baby. Are you?
Every day I wake up at 5 to give Dad his medicine. Every day I wake up at 5 to give Dad his medicine. At 6 I make his breakfast. Every day I wake up at 5 to give Dad his medicine. At 6 I make his breakfast. At 7 I shower. Every day I wake up
For
at
those
5.
caring for a loved one, we hear you. That's why AARP created a community to help us better care for ourselves and the ones we love. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
This is a harbinger of hate, Danny Only, and you were locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Alright, I've gone through all the tracks, just move through the beats. Do your thing.
All right, everyone, let's hear it for West High's own Brooke Turner, a.k.a. DJ Hook.
Scratching at my first school dance takes confidence. So getting into college, I've got what it takes. So do you.
Visit knowhowtogo.org to learn what you should be doing right now to prepare for college. Start taking the steps at knowhowtogo.org. Brought to you by the American Council on Education, Lumina Foundation, and the Ad Council.
Hey, this is Fred Cole Weaver. You listen to Beyond Ringside.
Hi, this is Joe Perry and Steven Tyler of Aerosmith for Red. You know, it's okay to rock and roll and party down. Just don't get in that 2,000-pound bullet when you're done and cocked. And please don't drink and drive. I'm the one that jaded you.
A reminder that friends don't let friends drive drunk. A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council, U.S. Department of Transportation, National Association of Broadcasters, and RAD.
This is the greatest wrestler the world has ever known, the magnificent JP Magnum, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Welcome to Move Time Radio, presented by the Arthritis Foundation, and we're smack dab in the middle of our dance-a-thon to fight arthritis pain. Me, I've been grooving for 10 hours straight, baby, but I'm a boogie machine. See, movement is just one of the ways to help fight osteoarthritis pain. Another is weight loss. You get rid of just 1 pound. That's 4 pounds of pressure off each knee. For more information on managing pain, visit fightarthritispain.org. Then meet me on the dance floor. This message brought to you by the Arthritis Foundation and the Ad Council.
Hey, everybody out there in Radio Land, this is Gavin Loudspeaker, a.k.a. Loud and Noxious, from the world of Chikara and Kaiju Big Battle, and you are locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Hey, what's up? Holla at your boy. XOXOXO. You getting these texts? Question mark. Where are you? What are you doing? OMG, you are making me mad. You better text me back. I'm waiting outside your house.
Relentless, aggressive texting is like sending an angry robot to deliver your message. When does the robot become dangerous? Let us know at that'snotcool.com.
That'snotcool.com.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hey, Dad, how do you throw a curveball? How do you build a fort? How do refrigerators run? How do fish learn how to swim?
Kids ask a lot of questions.
How high can you jump?
But you don't have to know every answer.
How many phone numbers are there?
Because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent.
How do cell phones work?
There are thousands of children in foster care who don't need every question answered.
What's electricity?
They just need you.
What's the moon made of?
For more information on how you can adopt, go to adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is Randy Rose from the original Midnight Express, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Make sure the chair doesn't move when you bounce. That's all I can say. Welcome back in, 27 before the top of the hour, Beyond Ringside Live on the air on this third day of August 2014. First, real quick, a couple of quick things I want to run down. Keep your eyes and ears open on BeyondRingside.com as well as Facebook.com/BeyondRingside and Beyond Ringside Live at Beyond Ringside on Twitter. And yes, we are also LinkedIn, Google+, Ustream, YouTube, more ways to get in touch with us. And of course, the open invitation is always there for event promoters, whether you are wrestling, mixed martial arts, boxing, sporting events. BeyondRingside@gmail.com. Love to find out about upcoming events. It's just that easy. Fast Eddie Layne in Studio One, welcoming back. Let's do it. Mark MaBo Bowman.
Did you know that Christ was a Jew?
Matter of fact, yes, I did. Like to welcome back the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis.
ABC's 1, 2, 3. Come on in. Let's party with me.
Welcoming back in, good friend of the family, Barefoot James. What's up?
Speaking of SummerSlam, I was looking on the WWE Network. They're replaying the 1998 Highway to Hell SummerSlam. May have to stick around and watch that.
They've been actually, and that's something I want to touch on in a minute because we kind of covered that yesterday on Saturday Showcase. And Wick, I think you were listening during that segment. But the question I want to hit y'all with, coming out of, and Wick, you and I have had a chance to discuss this Wednesday on To Be Determined, this past Wednesday. And of course, folks, don't forget the To Be Determined show Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Central Time, right here on Beyond Ringside. With the situation they had coming out of Raw Monday night, I did not see all of SmackDown, so I don't know if there was a continuation. Did they manage to paint Steph as well as Brie into an awkward corner in the final segment of Raw this past Monday night? And if I need to elaborate, I will, but I'll leave the question at that for right now. Mark?
No, I don't know. I don't remember seeing. I didn't watch all of SmackDown, so I don't know.
But coming out of Raw.
Oh, coming out of Raw?
Yeah.
What was the question?
Did they manage to paint Brie and Steph both into an awkward corner?
Well, I don't know. I have to actually give a damn about the thing to even comment on it. I'm just, just saying.
Okay, let me go ahead and give this part, and I'll reset the question. With the final segment of Raw, and Brie continuously, well, I'm not going to drop the charges. You do this, and I'll drop the charges. Wait, there's one more thing I want, shades of Daniel Bryan. Which didn't, it worked for him because he has talent. When Steph went into the fake cry and said, okay, you get your match, but you got to remember one thing, and then wailed, I love the shot, nicely executed by Steph on Brie. Brie goes down to the floor. And Steph just goes on the microphone and goes, I'm going to make you my bitch, and throws the mic to a hellacious pop from the fans in attendance. And the fan who was watching on my television set, known as me. Because I thought that was brilliantly executed until about 2 seconds later when I realized the crowd is popping for Steph and Brie's supposed to be the face in this circumstance, not the heel. Now I'll re-ask the question. Is that an awkward corner for Steph and Brie to be painted into coming out of Monday night on Raw? Mark?
No, it happens all the time. It happens just about all the time when the WWE wants you to cheer one way and the crowd cheers the other way. And what do? They just keep pressing forward regardless. I mean, so no, it's not really an awkward thing.
James, I'll go to you.
It happens a lot.
It does in certain circumstances. I'll agree to that, but still.
Well, but still nothing. I mean, that's just how it is, and they're just going to be like, okay, well, we'll just keep going forward anyway.
Well,
that's what they do.
You know they're not going to abandon ship on it. They've come too far.
Well, it's only 2 weeks out, so I mean, I'm not saying they are. I never said they were going to, but they're just going to keep going forward and just be like, it's the whole, well, this is what we coach, you're going to eat it and like it.
There you go. James, your thoughts?
With it being Brie Bella, one of the stars of terrible.
You could have gone all show long without making a reference to that.
I openly masturbate to Total Divas.
I openly ignore what you just said and defer to James.
I was actually there on Monday. It was really strange. Not strange, but she was the heel, and I really felt like that should have been something that a babyface would do. I'm just like MaBo. I'm not really surprised. I really don't think that they painted themselves in the corner. I just think that this is the sign of the times. And to be honest with you, whenever SummerSlam rolls around, I wouldn't be surprised if, because sometimes depending on the crowd there, I wouldn't be surprised if Stephanie goes into the match at space.
Wick?
I think that they're just happy that the fans are behind and involved in this match. That's all they really care about. The fact that you get a chance to do this and you get a chance to have 2 women's matches on SummerSlam, I mean, when was the last time that happened?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, it usually helps that you're the boss and you're banging one of the top faces. That's usually how that works.
Well, that works. Not really. At least not from my perspective. And like I said, that's one of the things I love about this, because we can agree to disagree and just have fun in the process. Because I said this Wednesday night, based on her performance from the last 2 Raws, much less anything else, Stephanie McMahon has earned an Emmy nomination. Her performances when she was being arrested, all of the above, brilliant. Nicely played. And I'm still waiting on my invitation to join the Stephanie McMahon Kiss My Ass Club, which I'm still going to wait on that too, but no, I will not hold my breath. And no, I will not go on a hunger strike. Sorry, I got salmon waiting on me in a few minutes. But as far as it goes, and this is the trick to it, and I'm sure the fact that y'all have noticed this, the crowd does not care about Brie or Nikki Bella. Their popularity is nil, non-existent.
Well, hold on, Eddie, hold on. They care about Nikki Bella when them nipples come flying out like they did a couple weeks ago.
That was Brie. Oh, what? Nikki had a nip slip?
Oh yeah, like when she got when they dumped her out of the ring, when them little jumbo-sized silver dollar nipples popped out and was like, "Hello."
In other words, she left a pie on the ledge.
I'm just saying, either her nipples fell out or the doctor put it up too high on the last surgery.
Yeah, that's it. Blame the doctor. And here's the thing about it. When Steph built into it going, I haven't been in the ring in 10 years, that gave the crowd something to work with. When the escalation of her and the fake cry, everybody saw through that. Nobody was fooled. At least I really honestly don't think anybody with an IQ above dried wallpaper paste was fooled. And then lo and behold, you put the capper onto it. Nobody take into consideration for a hot second that she is married to the person who will denigrate someone else to get themselves over at the drop of a hat, and that's Triple H. She played the Triple H card perfectly. And once again, coming into this, because remember, as part of the Authority, she is supposed to, in theory, he says, one of the primary heel characters on screen. And yet, lo and behold, because of the fact that there is that non-existent concern over anything named Bella, it only turned to backfire and paint Steph into the babyface side of the coin. Now, I'm sure that they will find a way to work through this and try to get her back into the heel corner, or at least, once again, try. But as far as it goes from my perspective, nope. I honestly think that I think they may go ahead and try to ride this out and see if they can get the crowds in a different city to turn. Because, yeah, that was almost a Montreal reaction. That was almost a night after WrestleMania in the Northeast reaction. Cheer the heel, boo the face. Except in this case, the face doesn't matter. And the heel's not supposed to, but they do anyway in this particular circumstance. But SummerSlam 2 weeks away. Now, before I go any further, MaBo, did you catch any of Impact from this week?
Well, I fast forward through it, but yeah, I watched it.
Hardy's 3D.
What? No, Hardy's Wolves.
Hardy's Wolves, I'm sorry. The Hardy's 3D is the next one that I want to bring up because the possibility is definitely there. So is
Hardy's 3D Wolves.
Yeah, I know that one's on the horizon too, but still, Hardy's Wolves from this past Thursday night on Impact, dude. What'd you think of it?
I think the whole show that this past Thursday night was one of their best ones so far, like in a long time.
James, have you had a chance to catch any of it?
I saw it last week. I haven't had a chance to run by it this week, but I did hear that it was a fantastic show, and I heard nothing but good things about the Hardys and the Wolves. But I am hearing something about the rumblings of something about Bubba was talking about putting Dixie through a table, but that's all I've heard.
They have released the footage to a degree. The teaser was there in the final 2 minutes of Impact this week. # it happens. Or it happened. And apparently they are making a full-scale gasp to get everyone's attention to the fact that Dixie Carter will go through a table next Thursday on Impact.
She does.
Yay! I also came back and said too little too late, considering the factor of the other news that was broken this week about TNA. But the thing that everybody has to remember is nothing is etched in stone. We're only at 9:30. It's not the midnight hour yet. The clock has not struck midnight, so there can still be a deal made.
Well, and that's the thing is TNA or Spike, TNA, whatever you want to call it, TNA is not handling it. It's some kind of talent agency that's handling negotiations. Plus, obviously, I don't think TNA, something's wrong because TNA's, they're not flinching. They're like, oh, we'll re-sign this guy. We'll re-sign this guy. Let's sign this guy. Let's sign this guy. If they were really concerned, they wouldn't be doing it.
You're right. There would be a freeze.
Now, I've heard rumor that, yes, Spike might not re-sign because Spike, much like they did with Bellator, was looking to get their own company. So who knows? Maybe we're looking at Spike outright buying TNA.
That is
they're just waiting to pop that answer.
Yeah, as long as nobody mentions the Chosen One or that non-existent company on this show, I'll be perfectly happy. So
what do you have against that?
I was just about to ask a question about that, but never mind.
Yeah, we are not.
Other than honestly, what in the butt? What in the butt?
Don't make me break out that song. I will play it. Go ahead.
But the question that I did have, and I don't know if y'all covered it in the past shows, but do you think there will be a decision in the final hour for Spike to re-sign TNA, or do you think that it's just done? They're not gonna budge and they're not gonna re-sign at all.
Before I open my mouth on this one, Wick, your thoughts. First off, I know you probably didn't watch Impact. I know that you've been on a hiatus from them as well. But your thoughts, TNA, Spike TV.
Well, I did watch TNA for about an hour. About an hour 2 weeks ago, and I wanted to pull my eyes out. With that being said, I hope that Spike just outright buys TNA and moves them somewhere else. Moves them out of Orlando. Moves them out of some place where you can just casually come in and be like, oh, we know you're not a wrestling fan. Look at this. They need to focus on their talent, not ex-WWE talent.
Yeah, and lo and behold, who did they bring in?
I hope so.
From my vantage point, and Hitman brought this up yesterday on Saturday Showcase, for a company that's supposedly having so many financial problems, considering the fact that they've been in the Manhattan Center for the last few shows, if they were having that big of financial difficulty, lo and behold, do you think they wouldn't be able to get the Manhattan Center? So they obviously had some help there.
And they're still in the Manhattan Center with this set of tapings as well for Hardcore Justice. Hardcore Justice.
Now, I did watch Hardy's Wolves. Hell of a match. And I will say this. I had prepared myself to walk away from mentioning Impact anymore. Then they put Kurt Angle in the Director of Authority position. Remember, he's been a GM before in a different product. And he did, when he was cast in that role, he did a remarkably good job. Now, from that vantage point, he has been the anti-Dixie. Thank God. Because of the simple fact, Kurt does not spend an inordinate amount of time on television putting himself over, whether it be himself doing it or creative doing it for him. He's kept it short, sweet, to the point, blunt, direct, and easy to listen to. Once again, Kurt Angle is the anti-Dixie. I have been, for the last 5 weeks, I've smiled when I have watched Impact. And not just for the fact that it was over like I did 6 weeks ago. Thank God it's over. I can smile now. 5 weeks ago, they put on a decent basic show and built from there. I'm normally very hesitant to use this phrase. This has been a debate that's gone on this network for a while. I've really not wanted to use the phrase, they've turned the corner. I give that 2 more weeks. I give them to the 2-month mark. And I know that'll only be 7 weeks, but that'll be close enough. If they can hit it on Lucky 7, I'm good. But the previous 5 weeks of Impact TV has been back to the way that it was meant to be. And no, that has nothing to do with a 6-sided ring. It has everything to do with the continuity of the product, the flow of the show, the way talent's being used, with the exception of Eric Young, who should really be back on television at least once every 2 weeks because he's good for ratings. I haven't had a major issue. The only major issue is still, once again, every once in a while, we manage to get anything over 2 minutes of Dixie Carter is too much. She's horrible on the mic. She'll never be Stephanie McMahon. God knows she'll never be Hunter or Vince. She just does not work as far as an on-air authority heel figure.
Just be patient, Edward.
I know. I'm going on what I'm seeing now. I haven't read any spoilers. I don't plan to read spoilers.
I'm not saying you have to read the spoilers. I'm just saying be patient.
I am being patient. That's why I've been complimentary these last 5 weeks. Thank you, Apache Chief.
That's
Apache Chief. Your neck chalk was Apache Samurai. Okay. Look, it's been a while since I've seen Challenge of the Super Fringe and Goober. And notice, neither of them were actively members of Justice League Unlimited.
Actually, technically they were, but we'll get into that later. We're going to go back down the long box in a little bit.
With 2 weeks before SummerSlam, is there any interest on your part whatsoever about the card that has been released to this point? Wick?
No. There is, besides Cena against Lesnar, that's about the only thing I want to see. Lesnar and Cena is going to be a hell of a show. It's going to be one of those matches that will go down in SummerSlam history. I'm calling it right now. But that's it, honestly.
MaBo?
Well, I mean, I heard that the Gemini twins might be taking on the Dicks and on the network exclusive match. And yes, Simon Dean will be back with the Gemini, so I'm looking forward to that. That's always a good match. And I know Abe Schwartz is supposed to be taking on T.L. Hopper in a weird thing on a pole match. They haven't announced that, and I'm going to go ahead and break that spoiler there. So, but yeah, you know, if those two matches are going to be on the card, and then the possible triple threat between Red Rooster, Dingaling One, and Manny Poffo in his Knight Armor for the Intercontinental title, if those are going to be on the card, then I'm definitely interested.
James, what about you?
Right now, I don't have that much of an interest. I feel like that Cena and Lesnar will be good, but my question is, do you think, and I don't know how y'all felt about the build to WrestleMania, but for me, I feel like when I was watching the build to WrestleMania, it was very, very lackluster, and it just felt kind of just like another show. And for me, in my opinion, I thought WrestleMania delivered, more than it had to be. Do you think that this card, that SummerSlam, may end up being the same, or we're all talking about how, it's going to be mediocre, it's not going to be anything, and then the show can actually over-deliver?
Maybe I'll go to you first on that one.
Nah, it's going to suck big old balls.
Wick?
No.
Man, you're going short, sweet, to the point today. You're definitely hitting stride on that. I'm going to say maybe, because I've got hopes for one match in particular. And no, it's not Cena Lesnar. It's Rusev Swagger, the flag match. If they there you go. Because their match at the previous show was not bad, and their storyline build has been good. God loves Zeb Coulter. Thank you, Uncle Dutch. I love you, man. And Lana, I want to see the swimsuit pics minus the swimsuit. Sorry, I'm going to be me regardless, and MaBo's not the only one who can make perverted comments on this show and get away with it. Thanks for playing. But as far as it goes...
Don't worry about that. Them swimsuit pictures are going to happen.
There you go. I said minus the swimsuit. Yeah. There's got to be nudes out there somewhere. We'll talk later. And
I can
just to see...
later.
Okay. See how much surgery.
www.yoloselfie.com.
Hey, stop it. Not doing that anymore. Steph and Bree is going to be completely negligible. The flag match has the potential to steal the show. The title match had better live up to the billing. I mean, plain and simple. Cena's promo this past Monday night was beautifully done, but it doesn't sway my opinion that Lesnar is going to go over at SummerSlam regardless. Jericho Bray Wyatt. Their previous match did not leave me standing ovation. I really have high hopes for this match. And if they give AJ and Paige time to work, if this match does go on the pay-per-view, if they give them time to work, we will see a great match. If they give traditional standard for WWE Divas matches on pay-per-view, even when the title's on the line, if they give the time crunch, then we're going to be left once again with them trying to put too much into not enough time. And it's going to piss people off. If they do what the rumors are saying, but Reigns and Orton, I'm not going to say that match can or will steal the show. I'm not even going to say it's going to be a 4 or a 5-star match, because if you've been watching Roman Reigns, he's not going over 8 minutes without looking gassed. Orton still.
I'll right now, Eddie. Let me cut you off right there. James alluded earlier that they've been working on that at house shows. Yeah, they're saying that it's stinks out loud.
Yeah, the drizzling shits.
Hashtag hell damn ass. Yeah, I've heard that one also. And the only other one that I would actually be halfway interested in seeing, but they pretty much run the storylines gauntlet to the with Ambrose and Rollins. I mean, they would have to put together something extraordinarily beautiful as far as the storyline goes in order to make me really want to bite into this match at SummerSlam.
Well, what do you mean put into? It's not been that bad. It's just
no, it's been great, but by the same
as far as getting hands on and stuff and who and whatnot. So
I want a cage match.
Well, who knows? I mean, this is really their first official match.
Second.
What was the first one?
Wasn't it 2 weeks ago?
No, I don't.
Because it never happened on the pay-per-view, but I thought they did it the night after that on Raw. No, they didn't do that.
No, it was supposed to be a tag match or something. It's supposed to be a 6-man, but they stomped on Ambrose's head, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you're right on that one. And speaking of, we haven't really heard that much about the tag titles, even though I have a feeling the tag titles will be defended at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of who they've been messing with.
Ryback and the Wyatt family.
The 6-man. It's going to be a three-way, right?
I haven't heard a rumor about a 3-way dance. I've heard rumor about it. It's going to be the Wyatt family versus the Usos. And once again, I'm going to probably suck it when it comes to the predictions, because I said the Wyatt family would go over at the previous pay-per-view.
Well, who knows? He might do it this time.
Yeah. Well, tell you what. I know we are 3 before the top of the hour, and I'm planning to take us to the 7:30 Central Time slot. Wicker, you good for one more segment? We're doing this live, kids.
Yep.
MaBo, can you run one more?
You have to ask, really.
There you go. James, want to hang for one more?
Yeah, I can do one more.
I lost you. Say it again.
Yeah, I can do one more.
Okie dokie. Folks, hang with us. Going to the top of the hour break a little bit early, and we'll be back for the home run round right here on Beyond Ringside Live. Stay tuned.
When planning your next party or special event, insist on the best. Full Range Entertainment is a professional entertainment company providing a full range of services. From professional disc jockeys and MCs to catering and photography, when the details of your special day must be perfect, call us first. Wedding receptions, corporate parties, school functions, birthday celebrations, and more. We also have Birmingham's largest selection of karaoke tracks available. With over 40 years combined experience, Full Range Entertainment can provide you with the talent and professionalism you need and deserve to make your next event one you'll never forget. For more information on the full range of services we offer, call 533-HITS. That's 533-HITS. Or check us out on our website at fullrangeentertainment.com.
This is Q-Ball Carmichael, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside. Listen up, friends.
This is Country Jack, Corey Hollis, and you are locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Hey, everyone. This is the Cosz, Robert Cosper, host of Cosz and Effects Thursday Night Radio Throwdown. This is your invitation to join me, along with the effects Stuart Couch, Mad Dog Dan Sawyer, and all of the craziness that is C&E, right here every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. It's wrestling radio with a twist, and some might just say with a twist of lime when the bar is open. Cause and Effect, right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
Hey, folks, this is WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Layne.
And I'm the Cosz, Robert Cosper.
And this is your invitation to join us
and the Hitman, Big Daddy Cool, Ryan Adcock, right here for the Saturday Showcase.
At Saturday mornings, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific Time. See, we do math around this place. Be sure to catch us right here on BeyondRingside.com. You can also listen through WinAmp for Android and BlackBerry, as well as the Shoutcast mobile app for Apple as well. Remember, that's Saturday mornings, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
And let me tell you how you can find the Hitman, Big Daddy Cool, Ryan Adcock on social media. It's very easy. It's at www.kissmyass.
Whoa. Stop that right there, folks. We'll see you Saturday on the Showcase. Bye for now.
Hey, everybody. This is NWA World Women's Champion Casey Carlisle, and you are locked into Beyond Ringside.
Let me try.
Okay. Just remember what I showed you.
Yep. There was a bunny who had one big ear and another big ear. They looped, made a bow, and the bunny hopped away. I did it!
Oh, good job, kiddo. Now let's tie your other shoe.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 1-877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hello, it's the hardcore legend Mick Foley, and you are locked in to Beyond Ringside.
This is the sound of a flat-screen television hurled off a building. Now the new bike your kid wants. These are the things you could have, all cast into oblivion. Because when you throw away money on wasted electricity, you throw away everything you could have bought with it. Use Energy Star light bulbs and appliances, and you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
Hi, everybody. This is Jerry the King Lawler. That's right, the host of the #1 rated show in all of cable television, Monday Night Raw. That's right, Jerry the King Lawler, WWE Hall of Famer, Jerry the King Lawler, and I am locked into Beyond Ringside, without a doubt.
Dave, what are you doing?
Just sending a gift to Dave 2037.
Who?
Me in the future. I save a little money from every paycheck for Dave 2037 so he can buy anti-gravity boots or a hologram Doberman. What are you getting Steve 2037?
Steve 2037 will be just fine.
Well, okay, but don't expect to borrow my anti-gravity boots.
Save something for the future. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Hey, everyone. My name is Bryce Rensburg. I'm the Chikara Senior Official, and wherever I am in the world, be it on the phone or the internet, there's no place I'd rather be than locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Can you tell if the leftovers from this dinner party are beginning to grow bacteria that could lead to severe diarrhea, vomiting, and stomach cramps? Listen. You can't see it either. Get leftovers into the refrigerator as soon as possible. Spoiled leftovers can make you very sick, or worse. Roughly 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year, but you can keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov. Brought to you by the USDA, HHS, and the Ad Council.
Hey, people, this is the Machine Guff Grayson, live and in your face. And remember, you are locked in to Beyond Ringside.
This year, firefighters will battle thousands of wildfires around the country in hopes of containing them. But a single ember that escapes can travel more than 1 mile, where it can ignite and destroy your home or community. You can't control where the ember will land, only what happens when it does. Prepare, protect, prevail. Get fire adapted. Learn simple steps you could take now to reduce wildfire damage later at fireadapted.org. A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council. Learn more at fireadapted.org.
Hi, this is April Hunter from aprilhunter.com, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
This is the tailor-made man, Micah Taylor. All right, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Set and ready to ride one more time on Beyond Ringside Live for this third day of August. Fast Eddie Layne, Mark MaBo Bowman, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, good friend of the family, Barefoot James, in from the Lone Star State. Want to remind everybody, the triple play on Sunday continues in just under an hour from now, as WrestleRage Radio with Smart Rage and Stan kicks off at the top of the hour. That's going to be 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. And at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 Central, the brand new edition of the Midnight Black Mass with the Good Reverend Dan Wilson. Hang with us all the way through this Sunday thing right here on Beyond Ringside, Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com, and all the different ways that you can listen. And for the record, this just in from our Entertainment News Division, the group known as Westlife is still not getting back together again. So to our friends over in the UK, sorry about that, kids. Folks, we're getting ready to head to the home run round, and instead of traditional last calls, what I'd like to do is go and
Hey,
make...
Eddie. Hold on, Eddie. I have a question.
I have an answer.
Not for you. It's for Shoeless Joe Dyson. What? James, I've been thinking about this, and I'm going to go ahead and call shenanigans, not just on the fact that you went and saw Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm going to call shenanigans on you going to Raw and pretty much any other place and being allowed entrance. Because how can you be barefoot and still allow public access to all these places that require shirts and shoes?
No shirt, no shoes, no problems.
So I'm calling bullcrap, sir. For if you do not walk around barefoot, then you do not live up to your moniker, and therefore you must change your name, and you can no longer be called quote unquote Barefoot James. So, are you living a lie, or do these? Or hold on, let me finish. Are you living a lie, or are the health restrictions and regulations in the state of Texas that horrible? Speak up, sir. Speak up.
And are the strip joints that good?
I tell you what. I work at a movie theater, so I get to see everything for free. That's how I saw Guardians.
Well, hold on. So wait. So you're telling me that there is a movie company that allows you to work there shoeless?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can walk around there in my barefoot and socks. Yeah, absolutely, I can.
That is disgusting, sir. What is the company? Because I would like to file a formal complaint.
Hey, speaking of which, they actually have two of them out there in Alabama. One in Fort and the other one in Jackson. So, you know.
All I'm saying, sir, is either you're lying and you're not barefoot, or Texas is disgusting.
It could be a bit of both.
Oh, so you're lying? How dare you, sir? All right, Eddie, continue with the show.
I'm working on that, trust me. Hashtag brain cells and not left it killing time. And for the record, no, for everybody who has asked me about last Saturday last Saturday in Pell City, no, there are no videos of any of the coalition that was there that night singing karaoke. Get over it. We all agreed there will be no videos.
Not till next time when you guys go out and I'm with you, then there's going to be a crap ton of videos.
Oh no, Saturday night, August the 30th, it is on.
I'm going to wear my extra glittery bustier.
I'll buy you a large bottle of water if you do.
Well, my bustier or just come out?
That too.
To the club.
I was waiting. You left yourself so wide open. Yeah. Now, real quick, if I may, in lieu of traditional last calls, I'm going to go ahead and open it up for first-person debate. And no, we're not going to embrace the debate. That's somebody else's gimmick.
Hey, I'm very good. I'm a master
debater. Yes, you are a master debater from what we've been told. I'm going to leave it open topic discussion. Whatever you'd like to throw out on the table, any topic. It can be wrestling, mixed martial arts, boxing, comics, movies, all of the above, music. And I'm waiting to see if I've got to go back to the chat room in a second to see if I get shot at for my Westlife comment. Nope, didn't get shot at yet. And I'm going to go and start. Mark MaBo Bowman, what's on the brain? What topic? You nail it.
No, pass to me. Pass to Liar McLiarface over there in Texas. Go pass to him.
Okay, James, I'll start with you.
I don't have anything on my feet. Oh crap!
There, you don't get hot about it. You got a little hostility over there.
I'm just saying, man. You don't sit there and call yourself Barefoot James and walk around with shoes on.
Mark, It's a nickname.
No, it's not.
It's a nickname. Let it go.
I actually needed that up.
Well, I mean, we all know why they call you Fast Eddie Layne, so, you know.
Ooh.
Yes, I have enough traffic tickets to support that claim.
Yeah, something like that. So I'm just figuring old Jimbo Jones there better have shoes, like, you know, stacks up in the closet and never wear them. I'm just saying.
James, go for it.
I'm actually completely out of thought right now. Today I just got ambushed.
I can barely hear you, dude.
Yeah, you got to speak up, dude. We can't hear you.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything on the brain considering I just got ambushed here for no reason. So, you know.
Oh, no, there was a reason. You were on Beyond Ringside. There you go.
We're all
Where's
fair.
my car?
Dude, it's all fair game around here. You know that. How long have you listened to this show?
Yeah.
How many times have you come on here? Everybody's fair game.
Yeah, no, I know. Anything on my mind? Well, I guess back on the TNA thing real quick, do you have any idea if they don't get re-signed by Spike? Do you have a clue, or do you have any type of idea where they would get signed by, or another channel? Or if you have the choice, what channel would you put them on?
I'd like to see him go back to Fox Sports 1. And actually, I'll tell you the truth, and y'all are going to laugh when I say this, and I know that Wick's primed him ready to go on this one. I would like to see him go to Showtime.
What?
I would like to see a major wrestling organization either go to HBO or Cinemax or Showtime. I think that the market is there.
No, it's not.
In my humble opinion, yes, it is. Boxing goes over well on there, and mixed martial arts goes over well on there. I think there is a market for professional wrestling on one of the premium movie channels. And opening up for discussion, Wick, do you want to jump in on that one?
Maybe AMC.
Nah, WWE already has the Bella Twins. They don't need to make additions to The Walking Dead. By the way, isn't the WWE in the middle of budget cuts right now? MaBo, you want to jump in on that one?
Well, I mean, if they're going, where would I like to see them, or where do I think maybe they're going to end up? Or
both.
I don't know, maybe we start at their FXX, maybe, because they're not going to make it on FX, so.
Logical. FXX would be a good choice.
Let's see, not everybody gets FXX.
Well,
I
not
don't
every.
know. I mean, I would find it very. It's highly unlikely you are ever going to see pro wrestling on HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, any of the movie channels. I just don't see it happening because it's going to have to happen on a weekly basis, and it doesn't really happen on a weekly basis on those channels. So, I don't know who could get it. I mean, we saw what MTV did with Wrestling Society X, but that was an entirely different creature on its own. I don't think AMC is ready to take that leap with pro wrestling. If it is, I mean, it might be something more comic book based, like Chikara. What other channels are there? Comedy Central? God knows TNA's been a joke sometimes.
True. Now,
I mean, it would have to go to like a Fox Sports, but then that means Fox would own it, right?
Conceivably.
Their distribution rights.
They'd own the distribution rights, correct? Just like NBC Universal owns certain distribution rights to WWE.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I mean, they don't. With as many channels as exist these days, believe it or not, TNA does not have that many options.
No, they really don't.
It's like saying, you're dying of thirst, and you got all these places to drink from, but they only sell clam juice.
Scary thought. Wicked Nemesis, come on board. Open topic. It's all you.
One thing I would like to say to everyone out there is thank you for supporting the Unlucky Charms and the Merchants of Death. There is a lot of people that could be watching a lot of different things, but they choose to come and watch what they feel and what they're drawn to. it is one of the reasons why we all got into the business, into the sport of professional wrestling, was to either have the fans cheer us or have the fans boo us, to get a reaction. TNA, wherever they go, they need to have a different direction, because they've got a lot of great talent out there. Ring of Honor's got a lot of great talent. Anybody that is happy where they are, you can't become stagnant. If you become stagnant, and you start to digress, you start to regress right there, just one after another. I want to know, is there one thing that has stood out to anybody this week in wrestling in general that makes them happy to be a fan? Eddie?
On a number of fronts, actually, because on ROH last night, the opening segment of the Gauntlet for the Gold with BJ Whitmer and Caprice Coleman, masterfully done. And I'm not a big fan of excessive outside interference. One and done, yes, but more than once, no. That's why y'all remember that I would shred the previous two matches between John Cena and Bray Wyatt. When you have talented competitors in the ring who are good at what they do and know how to do it right, when you incorporate the ability to get the fans on your side, heel, face, anything in between, the placement, it doesn't matter. But the fact that you're able to work fan reaction into what you do, that's something that gets a smile on my face. When you're John Cena and cut one of the better promos you've cut in the last 5 months this past Monday on Raw, I loved it. When you're Stephanie McMahon and you manage to basically take the heat take the shine right out from under the babyface and get it on yourself and get the crowd doing the yes chant along with you, I was enjoying that moment. There have been some good moments, and believe it or not, I'm going to go ahead and say this. If I have to give an award for Superstar of the Week, I'm giving it to Cesaro, because of the matches that he had Monday night on Raw and Friday night on SmackDown. He has been tremendous this week. That's why by this time next year, I expect the WWE Championship to be around his waist one way or another, by hook or by crook. Yeah, those are just a couple of the things that have stood out to me in the week that was this week. Like I said, and not to mention Hardy's Wolves. Tag team wrestling is alive and well, if only for 21 minutes and 30 seconds. But that's only on the national scale. We all know where it stands on the independent scene. And no, it's not just a lucky thing that tag team wrestling is still alive and well. Some would say it's an unlucky thing. Wick?
MaBo, one thing that stood out in your mind that made you happy to be a fan this week of professional wrestling?
Stood out? Well, that made me be happy? I don't know. I don't know about happy. I did like how it just kind of reminded me of the old ECW shows when, like, on Ring of Honor, like they did with the Gauntlet for the Gold, how they took one match and made it last over the entire hour.
Yep.
Like that kind of made me think back to the old Saturday nights watching ECW. I don't know, I kind of got a little chill when I saw Low-Key and Samoa Joe have their little stare down.
There you go.
Because they've always had some vicious matches, and enjoyable too. And for anybody who really knows me, they know I have a deep personal fear of Low-Key. Because he stood right behind me at a Ring of Honor show one day, didn't even know what he was like. I got T-shirts for sale, $30, and I shat my pants. I have been in fear of that man ever since. Like, I met him, there's a picture of me, I think it was the Brennan show that he had booked Low-Key on, and if you notice, there's a good 2 feet between us when that picture was taken. Because that man scares the crap out of me. But, I don't know, it's just, have I watched, no, I have not watched NXT this week, so, I have not watched this week's NXT, but that's always, as a fan, that's always a highlight for me, is watching NXT. You know, even just, I don't know. I enjoy NXT. just immensely. That's always a fan highlight.
Wick?
Wait, did you just throw to yourself?
Say what?
Did Wicked just throw to himself?
No, I threw to Wick to throw to James.
Oh, I thought Wick threw to himself. I was like, well, this just got weird.
James, same question.
Oh, yeah. For me, I've just been going back to the network a lot, and I've been a mark right now for WWE Countdown, and they had a tremendous edition that came on last week where it was the top 10 Hell in a Cell matches, and just, you know, it brought back some crazy memories. Like they had the one with, of course, you know, Triple H, Foley, and the End of an Era one, and of course the Taker Mankind one. Just some of the brutality of it, and just the fans' reactions of it, and the fact that, you know, the green psychology and stuff like that just, you know, brought me back, you know, as a fan. And for me, it's going to sound a little bit weird and offbeat, but I'm a big fan of the wrestling podcast, and the only one that I listen to religiously is the Jim Ross Report, the Ross Report podcast. And every time I hear him talk to a guest, or even a little segment that he does before he introduces us to What's on My Mind segment, you can just hear just his love and the passion for the business, and just him being meticulous in how he describes things and why he thinks things should go this certain way. I'm just addicted to it. And of course, you know, Steve Austin has a good podcast and stuff, but I just really love listening to the Ross Report. So,
you know what else Jim Ross would love? For his face to work.
He'd also love everybody to buy one bottle of barbecue sauce. So if everybody in the country would buy one bottle of barbecue sauce, Jim Ross would be a happy person. Wick,
yeah, but you just wouldn't be able to see him smile.
Wick, I'll turn it back on you. What has stood out to you this week?
Well, the fact that John Cena and Cesaro had a fantastic match, for one. Proving once again that if you have a bad match with John Cena, you shouldn't be in the business. He is the greatest sports entertainer of all time. So that's what stood out to me. That match stood out tremendously, because this is a new week. This is Sunday, so let's see what happens tomorrow night on Raw. We'll lead up to SummerSlam. Maybe something will stand out there. Or the fact that I don't have a mohawk for the first time in about 8 years.
I was wondering how the mohawk watch was going.
Well, it's gone because Pandora chopped half of it off. And then cut Clyde Raddick open.
Are you going to try to grow it back, or are you just going to take it one step at a time and make the decision as is?
That is none of your business, sir.
I'm just asking.
I'm thinking somebody needs to kick Mandora in her mangina.
Isn't that a topic we discussed this past either this past Wednesday or Wednesday before? Was Mandora's mangina?
Actually, it was last Monday. We talked about hashtagging her mangina, but still.
No, nobody needs to stab Mandora.
I say stab her. Good God, Andy.
No, Wick did.
Oh, well, he has a right to say that.
There you go. It's an issue there. Okay, MaBo, we've all taken a shot. Open topic. Your run, real quick.
I bet you have taken a shot before.
Do-doom-doom.
You know me, I don't really do it. I just... Okay, and everybody, and you guys can, I mean, just back me up, your opinions, whatever. I don't care what order you answer in. Everybody's making the big deal, or the storyline big deal is Stephanie struck Brie. Brie got her arrested. Brie was technically a fan at the time, yada, yada, yada. But nobody is bringing up the fact that Brie, a fan, snatched a WWE property microphone from Stephanie, a WWE employee, and there was no charges brought about or her ejected at that point. It's called consistency.
Right.
My question is, I don't really have a question. I just want to bring that up because, I mean, let's be honest. If a fan were to snatch a microphone from somebody, they would be ejected and possibly, jailed or whatever.
Right.
Even if the WWE employee strikes them, there's not going to be a counter. There's more likely going to be a counter arrest or whatever. So why is the WWE allowed to get away with that? I know it's supposed to be suspension of disbelief. I don't care. It really bugs me. That's all I got to say. I don't care if y'all answer the question or not. It just bugs the hell out of me.
Anybody want to jump on it?
Well, let me ask you this, Eddie. What would happen if a fan snatched the microphone out of my hand?
They'd get the hell kicked out of them.
No, actually, I believe specifically he's looking for the answer of they would take a size, enter number here.
Nazi boot?
Nazi boot, yeah.
Yeah, they'd have a boot up their ass real quick.
No, I think it would go in their mouth.
No, it'd probably go up the rectum. However, no, it's like the same thing with me. It's like somebody snatches a microphone out of my hand. Guess what? I'm doing a flying body press off stage, catching somebody, because that microphone ain't going to get too far, and it's going to be turned off before they get a chance to talk. And the only other point of consistency that you actually missed on that, Mark, is the factor of Bree's music getting played when she came around to talk to Steph. Why? She doesn't work for the company anymore.
They play music for like the old legends and superstars, or
they're under contract. They work there. Brie Bella was not an employee at the time that she came around the corner to get in the ring and talk to Steph.
But when they have celebrities sitting in the audience, they get some kind of background music or something. So.
That's not over the PA system. That's over the production system.
You didn't know that. I'm just saying, that regardless of even that, maybe they were just pointing her out. What I'm saying is freaking that if they're talking about who touched who slapped who did who wrong, then legally, Brie Bella wouldn't have a leg to stand on.
True.
Sorry, that just bugs me. I don't care. I don't care if y'all answer the question or not. I'm just saying. I want to bring that up because that bothers me.
Real quick, we're at 26.
That is some ish that should not be.
There you go. I'll leave that one on the table. Wick, and one more stab at it.
No, sir. That's good.
James, anything you want to add?
Nah, I totally agree with what everything said.
Like I said, the only other thing that really bugged me was the fact that they actually played her music over the system. It's like, no. She's not an employee. She quit. We don't play music on that circumstance. Let her get rehired officially, then play her music. That way people have an audible clue to be completely and totally just like not caring. Apathetic was the word that I was looking for. Let's run it around real quick. Mark Bowman, shameless plugs.
You can catch me and my dulcet tones on the VOD replay of LXW Prevents, the Invasion of the Prevents. Yes, we prevented that. The LXW Presents Invasion of the Ubermenschen. I'm sure you can find it, I don't know, at WWN Live or...
Yes.
I don't know. Go to the Facebook page. Kevin Brandon posts it like every 5 minutes. Damn.
He does, too.
Can't ever say he doesn't, try to promote it.
Hey, I give credit where credit is due. There is one thing Kevin does very, very, very well, and that is get the word out. Anything else you want to throw on shameless plugs?
Don't give a damn to anyway.
Okay. Wick, hang tight. James, anything you want to plug or promote?
No. It was an honor and a pleasure to be back on.
Glad to have you back on, dude. Still on Twitter?
No, I have dropped all technology. I don't have a Twitter. I don't have a Facebook. I don't have a LinkedIn. I don't have a Snapchat. I don't have a Vine. I don't have none of that stuff.
We'll get you back on one of them sooner or later. Probably Facebook.
You know why he doesn't have any of that stuff, Eddie?
Why is that?
Because he doesn't want people calling him out on his shenanigans and his chicanery about allegedly being barefoot.
I knew he'd do it. I saw you coming a mile away. Don't follow up on that. Don't. I know what I left myself open for. Don't say it.
You know who does come from a mile away? Liam Neeson.
There you go. Wicked Nemesis, shameless plugs.
First of all, we want to thank Iceberg for coming on this past Wednesday on the To Be Determined show right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com. Second of all, this Wednesday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will know tomorrow if this guest is going to be able to come on. Let's hope that everything works out the way that it's supposed to, because this will be a hell of an interview. We were joined by AJ Still last week. AJ Still just passionate about what he was going to do to Micah Taylor. And then last night he went out, wrestled UIW, Big shout out to Clyde Braddock for doing some coverage of that for us, going over there and checking out the usual suspects, looking at some of our competition. So a big shout out to him for doing that. And also, you can follow us at the TBD Show on Twitter. The To Be Determined Show, The Merchants of Death, Unlucky Charms, and Wicked Nemesis all have Facebook fan pages. Like us, share us, you know you want to. Also, at Wicked Nemesis on Twitter. Join us, please, every Wednesday night right here at the Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com. And thank you to everybody that listened tonight.
Let's run it down light speed. WrestleRage with Smart Rage and Stan kicks off in 30 minutes from right now. You got to keep it locked in right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com. We'll also be simulcasting through the mobile as well as Ustream. A little bit later this evening, 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 Central, the brand new installment of The Midnight Black Mass starring the Reverend Dan Wilson. Tuesday night, making a very special return, it will be Back to Basics. This week, yours truly and Wiggy Wigowski going to be taking the two chair on this edition of the return of the Back to Basics and the Tuesday night conversation. Going to be joined by professional wrestling promoter Big Red from Rage Pro Wrestling out of the state of Pennsylvania. Wednesday night, you heard it, the To Be Determined show makes the return 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. Thursday night, Cause and Effect present the Thursday Night Radio Throwdown right here on the BeyondRingside.com and the entire network. Join Robert Cosper, Stuart Couch, and Mad Dog Dan Sawyer, Pro Wrestling Radio with a twist. And I have a feeling the bar will damn sure be open this Thursday. And of course, on Saturdays, 10 a.m. Eastern, 10 Central, 11 Eastern, the Beyond Ringside Saturday Showcase. Yours truly, Ryan Adcock, the Hitman Big Daddy Cool, along with the Cause and Effect Robert Cosper. Cos should be back from the honeydew list by next Saturday. Sorry, Cos, had to get that one in there. And of course, we thank everybody for joining us right here. Once again, we are live Sundays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 Central for Beyond Ringside Wrestling MMA Sports Radio, or as I like to call it sometimes, Beyond Ringside Live, the flagship. Thank you for joining us, please, at Beyond Ringside on Twitter, Facebook.com/Beyond Ringside Live. Our Facebook friend page is back to the gills. I cannot approve any more friends. It's actually 4996 right now. I'm going to approve 4. But please, go to the fan page and definitely keep your eyes open. BeyondRingside.com. For me personally, Fast Eddie Layne, LAYNE.com. You got links to all my social stuff over there. Until next time, thanks for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. For a very special guest and good friend of the family, Barefoot James. And I think he disappeared. For Mark MaBo Bowman.
Hot buttered homeless people.
For the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis.
Sharknado 2 is less than Shark Pussy.
This is the Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Layne saying adios, das vidania, hasta luego, auf Wiedersehen, ciao, sayonara, adieu, arrivederci, farewell, abisinia, au revoir, and until we meet again, Daryl B., everybody who came through the chat room, thank you. To everybody who came through the Ustream chat, thank you as well. We'll see you soon, and aloha means bye-bye. We'll see you next time as we all go Beyond Ringside.
Hashtag Uga Chaka.
Hashtag salmon.
Hashtag redhead I once knew.
Hashtag is this the train to Desert Moon?
Hashtag wrinkly old ballsack.
Hashtag believe it or not, we're out of here. Bye-bye.